Welcome to Iowa Motor Speedway. I'm Matt Egan, joined by Jeff Wood, getting ready to go racing here as we have 110 laps of action in store for you tonight. But first, qualifying from the wonderful racetrack. So, Jeff, what do you expect to see out of this race tonight?
Well, there's a little bit of a maybe difference in the Fords tonight that I was hearing about from a couple of the drivers, but there's only a couple Fords on the field. So we'll have to see. Don't know what that's about. I did update the trucks on Tuesday when adding in the new Ford, which is the first time we'll see here at Lugnuts. After that, as long as we get some green flag laps, I think the race will be fine. 110 laps the mark, so that's what we got to see. We got to get guys to make laps and stay away from those caution events.
Yeah, a few drivers were talking about the Fords potentially being a bit looser than the other trucks, and of course a looser vehicle is faster if you can handle it. So we'll see what they put down in qualifying. I'll be interested to see. Right now, Kevin Winter, top of the speed chart. Werner Markheim, Jeremy... What is that? Is that Jeremy Miller? I don't know, because apparently
Calvin Miller.
We're still putting last names instead of first names. But Robert Mattis is third. There's a name that I can actually read. And he is in a Ford. But Werner Markheim, that I know is a Toyota. And then Calvin Miller is a Yoda. So we don't have a Ford in the top 4. We have one in the top 5. Ray Richer looking to knock him out. Tony Romack, pretty good. We'll see what Judd Danielson does. So right now, those Fords are not looking faster. At least in the short qualifying run.
Their short run speed, not what the Chevys and Toyotas have. We did see a bigger difference between the 20 to 30 lap range. A big difference, so to say. So, again, all things we'll have to keep an eye on. If we get into short runs, it's not going to help the Fords, if that is the factor. We'll have to see how the race plays out.
Well, we are at Iowa, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see quite a few short runs out of this race tonight.
No, I believe we got close to 20, 25 drivers. A couple of them just logging in at the last moment.
I'll be interested to see what Wesley Holland puts down. He's got always pretty fast, but in that brand new Ford F-150, it'll be interesting to see. He'll go to 12th.
Yeah, like I said, he's more interested in the long run if that, holds true to what the Fords can do.
Elliott Sadler coming out onto the racetrack in his Toyota. Now, little bit interesting thing there. I don't know what the league rule is on it, but you saw him coming out of pit road, Jeff. He smoked the tires, held the clutch in, and did basically, not a burnout, but you know what I'm talking about. Where he burned out the tires coming out of pit road, or skidded the tires, whatever you want to say.
No, I mean, you skid the tires, heat the tires, so to say, and drop the clutch, that type of deal.
It'll make you a little bit faster.
Yeah. I mean, that's all things we intend to play with in the future, but being in the summer series, we're not playing too loose with the rules, but we're obviously watching certain things to help improve towards the winter series come September.
Yeah, I know the official iRacing stance on that is they don't really like you doing that, but when it comes to leagues, it is up to the league's discretion. Elliott Sadler goes to 18th on the speed charts. Wally Tierheimer 19th. Ken Richardson, I'm a bit surprised he hasn't taken a lap yet. He was towards the top in his in his practice.
Yeah, he tied for the board. A lot of those guys are putting down one-lap runs just to prove it, and Justin Michael goes to the top.
Hey, here's a name we haven't seen in a while. How about Andrew Schulte?
Ooh, the 11's logged in. I know he did not take a practice lap because he's just turning into his truck here.
Yeah, he's coming out
in a Chevy
with a bit of a messed up template. Look at the rear spoiler.
Yeah, I'm sure he hasn't had time to update, but does have that, looks like Children's Hospital of Wisconsin on that rear end.
I don't think he'll be able to get a full lap in.
No, not as we come up to that 5 minute mark.
Yeah, no chance. But looks like he's got a pretty good handle on the truck from that, half a lap he was able to put down?
Yep. Chevys are going to push tight off the corner. Got to watch that turn 1, turn 2 bump here at this D-shaped Richmond-like oval.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this race plays out. Of course, we'll get your starting lineup in just a minute, but Justin Michael on the front row. Again, you'll notice the front row, Toyota, Chevy, and I think Toyota, Chevy, first four. You got to go back pretty far in the field till you see your first Ford. But as the drivers have said, it is kind of a long-run truck. Well, we'll let Jeff Wood roll through our starting lineup now.
Yep, Justin Michael, fast time 24.013, just a thousandth slower than what he ran in practice. Scott Patton, outside pole 24.044, about 300ths off that speed. Elliott Sadler, when he hopefully logs there on pit road, will be third. Calvin Miller in the 977 starting fourth. Kyle Chadwick in the 88 Chevy fifth. Kevin Winter sixth. John Held seventh. Vernon Markheim will be eighth. Jeff Gilmore ninth. Trent Drum in that 12 machine, another great qualifying time for him, starting 10th. Robert Matisse 11th. Hermie Sadler in that 93 will be 12th. Judd Danielson 13th. Brad Ream showing up, good to see him back, 14th. Ray Richard 15th. Wes Holland, second Ford on the line, 16th. Josh Scott 17th. Tony Romack 18th. Wally Tierheimer will be 19th. Non-qualifiers 20th. Andrew Schulte. Jack Watts 21st. Ken Richardson 22nd. Sean Dorr 23rd. Thomas Cristiano 24th. Gene Rogers 25th. And Kerry Cleaver, shotgun on the field, 26th.
Yeah, Kerry Cleaver seems to love that last starting spot, but he always tends to finish better than where he starts, which I guess is one benefit to having that final starting position, you know?
You're always going to finish better, that's for sure.
We'll hopefully finish better. You never want to finish. You never want to finish where you started in that situation.
No, that's true. Shotgun on the field, you want to at least improve about one overall.
At any rate, as we get ready to go down to the start of this race, it'll be a pretty interesting start. Again, Justin Michael out front. We're not surprised by that, or I'm not surprised by that anyway, but again, I am surprised to see only one Ford really in that top few spots. Again, I think that is, what is that? I can't actually read the number on that. I want to say, no, that's Chadwick's truck I'm looking at. That's not a Ford.
Yep.
Robert
the
Mattis,
14
I know,
and
is
the
up
4.
front.
Yep, 2 Fords on the field that I know of outside of Wally Tierheimer, so that makes 3.
Yeah, but not a lot of Fords, not a lot of them towards the front of the field. We'll have to see if it is all short run speed, or long run speed for them, rather. At any rate, Justin Michael leads us to the green. There it is. And we're racing from Iowa Motor Speedway. Good start by Justin Michael. Down and away into 1 and 2. Side by side, as the eye can see, coming down the back straightaway. They'll single out Michael Patton Sadler into 3 and 4. Side by side with Kevin Winter and the 977 of Miller. At the line, your top 5 as they run. It'll be Justin Michael, Scott Patton, Elliott Sadler, Kyle Chadwick, and Kevin Winter.
Yeah, good opening lap there. Elliott Sadler under fire from the 88 of Kyle Chadwick on the outside. Got to watch that push off of turns 1 and 2. Here comes Kevin Winter, wants to throw it 3 wide on the very bottom. Sadler blocks it, gets the medium run off the top side. That top side run still going to be better, but it looks like Chadwick was a tiny bit loose getting through that corner.
Yeah, I think Winter was window shopping, though. I don't think he was too serious about diving down hard into that corner. You know Kevin Winter, Jeff, well as I do. If he wanted to go down into that, he definitely could have and would have. But it looked more like he was just like, well, can I make a pass? Yeah. Do I want to 2 laps into a race like that? Probably not. But I guarantee we go 10 to go, and it's, Kevin Winter in a spot like that, he'll go for it.
Most definitely. 3rd, 4th, 5th, all under a blanket. Kevin Winter.
3 wide. There he goes. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. If he wants to dive it in, there it goes.
Oh, he's pushing hard off the corner. He got on the
big
brake.
push.
Yeah,
That'll be
just
lap
carried way
5
too
now.
much speed.
Brad Reams side by side with Trent Drum. And you see the Ford Wesley Holland. That Ford not having a good night so far. 5 laps in, he's 14th, and I think he's actually further back than where he started, Jeff. I believe, didn't he start somewhere up there a little bit higher up? I want to say he started somewhere around 12th. We'll take a look. And no, he started 16th, so he is actually moving positively through the field, which is, of course, what you want to do. You want to go forward, not backwards.
Well, as soon as I heard of a possible difference between the manufacturers, maybe setup-wise, maybe my fault, I don't really know, but I started watching those Fords a lot, and Wes started backing up his corners a lot, taking it a lot easier on those first couple laps, so he's doing what he has to take advantage of, you know, if he has an advantage at this point.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. These drivers are going to probably disagree with me, but from a broadcaster, I don't necessarily mind a little bit, not a big difference, but a little bit of a variation between each manufacturer's car, because you know what? That means, hey, there's some tracks this Ford will do better at than, say, the Chevy. There's some tracks a Chevy will do better at than a Ford, and there's some tracks a Toyota will do better at. It makes it a bit more interesting to see what can a driver do with the strengths of one truck and how can they play to the advantage of it, and maybe how can they compensate for the weaknesses of another. It brings in strategy, it makes it more exciting. A completely level playing field, it's not that interesting, you know?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to look at it.
I'm sure the drivers disagree with me there, but, you know, drivers will probably say, well, I want every truck that isn't mine to be equal, and I want mine to be the fastest.
Sure. That's any racer, I would think, would love to have the fastest vehicle no matter what. Unload speed and just go.
But, yeah, that's just my way of looking at it. I like to see slight variations.
Yep, watching around that 85 of Judd Danielson, Matt, in the thick of it with Jeff Gilmore and Robert Matisse right there, too, on his bumper.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that right now. Judd Danielson is, yeah, as you said, just right in it. And you notice those 2 Ford trucks starting to creep their way through the field, 11th and 12th consecutively at the moment. Yeah, and right now, 3 wide there, a little bit of contact between those trucks, and it looked like, I think, Matisse got into the bottom of Justin Michael there for a brief moment, Jeff.
Yeah, not Justin Michael, probably Jeff Gilmore or Judd Danielson there.
Yeah, you're right, Judd Danielson. I don't know why I said Justin Michael. I think I saw an orange truck, and I kind of figured, I equate that to Justin Michael, and I don't know why.
3 wide for the 4 machine, Burnham Margheim, Calvin Miller. We're just using the bottom.
Yeah, they're Judd Danielson trying to go 4 wide there. That would not have been a great move. I don't think 4 wide would work in a track like Iowa, you know?
Oh, there's still a ton of space for such a short track. I think there's a lot of space actually in these corners. Oh,
and there you go.
85.
Good save. Did I speak too soon? No, I don't think I did. Calvin Miller has it gathered up. Judd Danielson has it gathered up as well. Everyone else trying to scatter. Andrew Schultz has had something go terrifically wrong with that truck. He is 11 laps down, sitting in pit road. I don't know what's gone wrong for him, but
I don't think he made the start at this point.
No, he did. He turned some laps because he's not sitting in a pit box.
Well, no, I guess he just had a kid a year and a half ago, so
that might be it.
Maybe he thought he could race, and then all of a sudden, kids make you think second when you think you got some free time.
That might well be it. So hopefully he can get back out there. Of course, he'll be 12 laps down, more than that at this point. But, you know, at least run around, get reacquainted to these drivers, get reacquainted to the truck, you know?
Yep.
17 laps in, these guys are absolutely flying through this race. Of course, I don't want to jinx it. Now I probably have.
Yeah, normally that's what broadcasters do. They talk about the possibilities, and those possibilities
Become
seem
reality.
to happen.
Of course, the possibility of the driver, the broadcaster, wants to win the race usually never happens, but...
No, right now that just seems to be Justin Michael, Scott Patton, Elliott Sadler just taking away the field, all within 1 second, first, second, third.
Well, on the subject of drivers winning races, if you were to pick a driver, not necessarily that you think has the fastest truck, Jeff, but that you just want to see get a win in, who would it be?
Well, the 14, let's see, Jeff Gilmore, he hasn't won yet in the Loose Lugnuts. He's been consistent, but...
He's won a championship.
Yeah, he's won a summer championship, so he knows how to get around tracks. Just a couple of the guys that just don't have wins in a while. You know, I think John Held is a new driver to the league that's been running up front, battle for the lead going on as I'm talking about this.
Yeah, Michael's got it right now.
Guys like Judd Danielson, Ray Richer that are just itching for a win too. They drive hard every week.
You know who I'd really like to see win? I'd like to see, I'm going to say one driver in particular. I'd like to see Tony Romack, because we've seen him have a lot of improvement in that 62 truck ever since he started here, you know? And I think he's at a point where he could definitely put a win together if he just has I think it's going to come down to strategy when and if he wins. But if he puts a strategy together, right, I think Romack's got a winning truck.
Yep, that's for sure. He reeled off a couple second-place finishes last winter season, and I think mainly ran on Thursdays, so that's where we saw him a lot here on ASN, and he's just got to get back in the groove, not running full-time, so to say, here at Lugnuts, but it is the summer series, and you can sometimes pick and choose which days you want to run.
Yeah, without a doubt. Trent Drum, meanwhile, looks like he's got a little bit of damage there. I don't know where he picked it up from, maybe in the whole kerfluffle with Calvin Miller, but his back end looks like, I guess just look for the truck with the beat up front end and you'll find out the culprit.
Yeah, that may be true somewhat, depending on that damage model, but usually when you see a square hit like that, the rear spoiler's pretty much damaged in the middle. That's restart or start damage. Maybe he just had a little bit extra help getting going. A lot of the guys started in first gear.
Yeah, that's always an interesting one, starting in first gear, especially at a track like this. That can go one of two ways. It can go really well, or it can go with you going really well into the wall. So all depends on how you start off your night. And right now it started off halfway decently. Well, I say halfway decently. He's still holding a top 20 truck, but with only 25 on the track, questionably decent for Trent Drum right now. Kerry Cleaver back in 25th right now. He has moved up a whopping one position on where he started, but looks like he was trying to get by Thomas Cristiano. Cristiano tags the wall, and he'll get by him. Again, Cleaver's always there. He always moves up towards the end of the race, not so much, you know, midway through.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are either struggling or just going with the flow at the moment. Biggest drop-off other than Trent Drum, both these guys racing together right now. Trent Drum and Calvin Miller, the 977, moved back more than 10 positions thus far. Calvin Miller started in top 5.
Yeah, I was about to say, he started pretty high up in the field. Well, remember, Jeff, he did get into the wall.
Yes, he did. And he got a little bit of a
I was
tangle
about to
with
say,
the
he had a
85.
little bit of help getting into the wall, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's doing fine. Wes Holland's actually caught the leaders, and we may be talking about that Ford and the Ford setup, and if iRacing screwed it up or I screwed it up, but the Ford has caught the two guys, the Chevy and Toyota in the front, running side by side. Can Wes Holland now get to the lead?
Oh, he will. He's lapping almost half a second quicker. His last run to 21 or 25.1, and everyone else was 25.9. That time he was held up in traffic, so he was a 25.3. and 25.9 for Justin Michael. You're still looking at, what, 0.2 quicker at least.
Yep, maybe there is a statistical advantage with the setup. And like I said, we'll remedy it after the race for sure. As he gets into the wall a little bit, loses some speed.
Yeah, well, again, looser truck, it gets into the wall easier. Again, like I said, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. You got to learn how to play to the strengths and advantages. Look back to 2018. You saw the Fords and the Toyotas in the Cup Series in real life just absolutely dominate.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, the Ford right now, the 20-lap run that we noticed was using less tires. So there is a little bit of advantage to having it a little bit loose, and the weight it distributes on the truck right now is more beneficial than with the Chevy and Toyotas. At least that's what was called out. But there are only 2 Fords to compare it with. Both of them doing really well.
Yeah, Robert Mattis, top 5 run, and Wesley Holland now leading his first lap of the night. But again, this is only good on a long run. If we get a short run, which chances are to the end of the race we will, it's not going to help that Ford machine.
Nope, and it's just an extra talking point tonight. I'm sure there was some mistake somewhere, like I said, and it'll get remedied, and maybe the battle is for second place, so we'll have nothing to talk about manufacturer difference next week or in 2 weeks when we see the trucks again.
Yeah, right now 32 laps in. Scott Patton, Justin Michael battling for second. Looks like Patton gets it.
Yep, Patton's been working on Justin Michael for a while. Here comes Elliott Sadler, though, looking to gain another spot.
Yeah, Sadler's got a pretty fast truck under him right now. Lapping in the 25.6s. Not the fastest laps on the racetrack, but definitely very consistent.
Oh, yeah. And next time we'll see these trucks is at Pocono, Chicagoland next week. There's an off week mixed in there, too, coming up for the 4th of July week.
Yeah, I'm very surprised right now to see that, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing because I do not want to see a caution, but I am very surprised to see that they've gone, 34 laps without a yellow so far?
Yeah, a lot. What was pointed out before the race when we were talking about the last time we run Iowa was that half the race was under yellow flag on the Thursday night event, and tonight they're just putting down laps and putting them down fast. In Chevy and Ford and Toyota, still fast laps going on.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of it. 35 laps into the race. Everyone, though, really starting to feel the issue of tire wear for the most part, starting to get spread out. Jeff Gilmore, Hermie Sadler, side by side, Jeff.
Yeah, good to see Hermie Sadler show up. I think this is his 3rd race. Jeff Gilmore on the bottom there. It looks like Sadler may have the advantage. There you got it just at the line. You see that 93, he'll hit the bump right there at the top of turn 1. Lets you know, good time to get on the gas, at least with a loose setup.
Yeah, right now 36 laps in. And the question now, when do you think these guys come to pit road, and how many pit stops do we see tonight?
Well, 2-mile track was 30 laps last week in the Xfinity car, a little under 1 mile here at Iowa. I would say we could have a good 60-lap run. This is one of the trickiest pit roads, as it is 40 miles an hour and probably almost a 90-degree left-hand turn off of turn number 4.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting pit road entry for sure. One of the harder ones on the racing circuit, although I still say the worst in my opinion. Well, that has to go to Kansas Motor Speedway.
Dover.
Kansas is worse for me. One race back, 2015, an NIS race, I got like 4 penalties 4 consecutive times just getting into pit lane. that killed me.
Dover, Iowa, Atlanta's tricky to get onto. Charlotte, depending on how much you've used your tires.
Right now, 39 laps in, coming to 40, and Scott Patton second place. Still, though, Wes Holland a 2-second lead. How about that for that Ford?
He's just laughing it up right now, if there is a difference. But here's the thing. There's only 3 Fords on the field. They're doing pretty decent, but you still got to know how to drive it. And like I said, it'll be fixed next week if there was a difference on, the setup end.
I'll tell you what the difference is. You got Wes Holland in that truck, and you don't have Wes Holland in, say, the 87. I mean, Holland, you have to give some credit to the driver. Wes Holland is a wheelman, plain and simple.
Yeah, Wes knows how to get around Iowa loose Lugnuts. It did start on the short tracks with a lot of the short track cars, like super late models and silver crowns and all things that can go loose to tight pretty quick. And we did do a lot of Iowa back in the day.
And right now, 42 laps in, and Wesley Holland still lapping pretty quick, lapping about a tenth faster than, say, Scott Patton with almost a 3-second lead. I mean, hey, again, I do agree. There's probably a slight difference in the trucks, but I do think a lot of it is down to the driver you put behind the wheel. And you look at Robert Mattis, definitely a fast truck, but he's not pulling away to the same degree Wesley Holland is.
Yep.
That's not anything bad about Robert Mattis, but,
Justin in the wall right there, right in front of the 14.
Yeah, that could have been real bad, real fast.
They'll lose a lot of speed with that 87. Elliott Sadler checking up and making sure he's not running into the back of old Justin Michael there.
And right now, you see Justin Michael got it gathered up. He's keeping it running. He kept it wound up pretty nicely. He'll lose some speed there. Elliott Sadler almost getting into the back end of him there. Looks like Jack Watts will try and get by him, or at least I think that's Jack Watts up to him.
Jack Watts 2 laps down right there. Shame. Yeah. Looks like he had to go in and get tires early. Maybe he did an extreme short pit here tonight, knowing better the difference on fuel.
And right now, 45 laps in, 46. With 65 to go, you think they're going to try and stretch this into a one-stop race?
Yep. As long as it stays green, I'm sure it will work out that way.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out here. And, I think if they do go one stop, I mean, I'm really surprised we haven't seen the yellow yet. I think we will at some point, but it's pretty interesting to see they've gotten this far. Great to see. More on that Ford thing again, how I still say it's a lot about the driver. You look, Wally Tier-Armor, still about 10th place.
Yep. Oh, see, looked like John Held go there for the pit road a little bit early. So.
I don't know. Is it early, though?
Sometimes you got to drop down there in turn 3, but normally you're looking to kill speed through the entry of turn 3 and take that left-hand turn just right as you think you might be exiting turn 4.
He'll be one of the first drivers in, too.
I think these cars will lap down, like Romac, Watts, all went in quite early to take tires.
Well, one of the first lead-lapped cars.
Yeah.
I do like the paint scheme on that Napa Tide machine. It's very different, but it's very different in a good way.
Yep, John Held through a couple of his vehicles that we've seen so far on all the broadcast networks has just been running the Napa Tide.
Meanwhile, 50 laps into this race, it is still Wesley Holland, Scott Patton, and Robert Mattis. Looks like Ken Richardson side by side with Trent Drum right now as they go down into 1 and 2. So pretty close racing there. Trent Drum getting by Ken Richardson with just 60 laps to go, Jeff. The winner here tonight, do you think Wesley Holland's got the winning formula?
He might. We'll see in the next 10 to 20 laps how his pit cycle goes, because those could always go bad. Still waiting on Scott Patton, Justin Michael, Elliott Sadler, and Kyle Chadwick to pit. Car down on the bottom of the back straightaway.
We'll try and see who that is. I didn't get a look at them. It looks like whoever it was might have disconnected. I think it might have been Thomas Cristiano. Brad Ream spins out trying to get to pit lane. That might bring out a caution. He'll stop it. Come on.
He backs it up.
Brad, what are you doing? That's okay.
No caution from iRacing, which is weird.
I mean, yeah, sure. That got him into pit lane.
Boy, backing up during a green flag event.
That was a bit... And he overshot his pit box. Bonus points for him right there. Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind.
I haven't seen anyone back up just to hit pit road under green flag conditions, and I'm surprised. He got really close to that yellow line. I'm surprised iRacing.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a yellow. I thought that was going to be yellow. Hey, the man wanted to pit. The man wanted to pit. The man did pit. I got to give him points for managing to get that back in, you know? All the same, Elliott Sadler down, Jeff.
Yeah, Justin Michael looks like he's just got back off. Scott Patton waiting it out a tiny bit here. We'll be back at Iowa in about 4 weeks. So Scott Patton with a hard left right there. Just gets it on.
Yeah, Patton, good run into pit lane.
Be in the Xfinity cars next time.
Thomas Cristiano was the driver that you saw stopped on the bottom of the racetrack. Just commented in the YouTube chat that he lost all his steering.
Oof, that stinks. That's almost as bad as a blue screen.
Yeah, but very lucky that, and almost contact between Vernon Markey and Scott Patton. Very lucky that he was able to get it onto the bottom of the racetrack and not hit anyone.
Yeah, that's for sure. Brad Ream taking it off the speedway.
Brad Ream off the track?
Yep.
Really?
Manual disconnect.
After that awesome maneuver into pit lane?
Huh? That's unfortunate. Yeah, I know.
Almost not worth the effort to go into pit lane like that then.
Normally, and what racers will oblige to, rather than coming to a full stop, it's easier to keep momentum if you blow pit lane just by continuing around the track. That way you lose less time technically by stopping fully on the track.
Yeah, and he could have gone down that little bit of the Legends over.
Oh yeah.
Where it's all paved down there. It's not even like he would have had to go through the grass, but you know.
Yeah. Ooh, Justin Michael blew his pit stop. Had to back up.
That's never a good sign, not for a pole sitter.
No. Justin Michael usually does not do that.
I'd say, I know it's not a full moon tonight, but it's cursed these guys like it is. Few guys having messy pit roads. Mattis out and away, pretty clean.
Good to see the 14 get out.
Holland out and away. So is it Chadwick's our leader right now?
Yep, Chadwick moves up to first on those fresh tires.
Thomas Cristiano saying sorry to whoever I hit, so maybe he did make contact with someone.
We didn't see it maybe early on in the race when you had contact with the wall. I'm not
potentially.
Really...
Maybe he made contact with Trent Drum. Maybe that's. Maybe that's where the contact with Drum came from. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Because I didn't see him hit anyone when he was down on the apron.
I'm sure the driver appreciates you saying sorry. We do thank you for that.
Yes, indeed. Chadwick staying out, trying to make stuff happen, trying to make wait out a caution, probably.
Well, he knows those Fords that pitted are loose.
And he's got a pit. There it is.
There's his pit. Those Fords are real loose. So.
Schultz is still sitting there, not in his pit box, but just down on pit road.
Yeah, that looks, well, I mean, at least he's in a pit box, so technically I think people could ghost him if they made contact. I think he really had to go deal with the kid real quick that he
Bro.
thought maybe it got laid down.
Well, real quick, turned into about 58 laps.
Oh, well, that's kids. If my door wasn't shut right now.
Scott Patton inherits the race lead. How about that? Here's something interesting. Wesley Holland, fourth place. Sean Dorr, your race leader, he's coming down pit lane, but he will be third place. Wesley Holland looking to get by Elliott Sadler right away. Now, again, Wes Holland, I'd venture to say he's got this race won.
Yeah. He was 3-4 seconds ahead. As long as it stays green right here, he'll eventually, with the timing loop, pass the rest of the guys here. So, yeah, like I said, there was probably a mistake somewhere, either on my end or on iRacing's end with how the setups are. I did get in here and change these setups on Tuesday, right after that update.
And and right now, just 65 laps in, and we've still gone caution free. Do you think we even see a caution tonight?
I'm going to say no, and then it's going to come out. But no's the answer for right now, as Wes looks to track down this 921 with relative ease. We'll have to see what second, third place feel like, how their tires were. Obviously, there's going to be a difference. It's visible on the speedway.
Yeah, I'm sticking with we see at least one caution. I wouldn't be able to believe we see a race at Iowa go caution free.
Yeah, 110
I mean,
laps.
it is Iowa after all.
Now they're clicking down the laps. I'm worried about those trucks that pitted on lap 40 now.
Yeah, that'll be well, they're going to have to pit again. I mean, there's no way they go to the end of this race. Anyone that pitted within the last 10 laps, I think, is good to the end, but other than that,
Yep. 1, 2, 3, Holland, Patton, Sadler. Matisse sitting back there in fourth, and Justin Michael blowing that pit stop all the way back to fifth.
Right now, it is still Wesley Holland, though, pulling away to about the tune of 0.5 of a second. Now on level playing field, we'll really see how these guys go out.
I think even the playing field's different through pit stops. Gene Rogers right now in front of our leader trying to hold on to a lap. Wes Holland searching for a spot, but Wes stayed out one of the longer times, so did Scott Patton, so speed's there, but boy, that 4 is bad loose off the exit of those corners.
Yeah, you can see him trying to hold on to it, and that's going to be the question of can he hold on to it for 42 more laps?
He's fine. We'll have to worry about the guys in the back that eventually start mixing it up around maybe 10th place on backwards, top 15, 10 to 15.
Or if they have to pit again, we'll see how that plays out.
Yep. We almost saw a caution on that pit cycle with the 61, so it's bound to happen. Usually that's where we see them, or towards the last 5 laps of the race.
Yeah, right now 70 laps in. And it has just been an incredible night for this race. John in the chat asking, what's the issue with the setup? Didn't catch the explanation. Well, we don't know if it's the setup or if it is just quite literally a difference with the trucks from iRacing, but the general consensus, John, the Fords, which Wes Holland, Robert Mattis, Wally Tierheimer, and I believe that's it. There may be one more. But those 3 drivers are looser on the long run and just looser in general than all the other trucks. And of course that translates to these trucks being quicker. If you can drive a loose truck, it can be quicker than a tight truck. So that's where it'll hurt Scott Patton, Elliott Sadler, and drivers like that who are either in a Chevy or a Toyota. And that's the basic explanation on that.
Along with the loose setup, there's between the setups that were noted was a better balance, shifting balance. So that may be a problem too. Like I said, it could have been my fault because I definitely went in there Tuesday and tried to reset it, all the setups because of the new update. But who
Could be a
knows
lot
what
of
happens?
things.
Yeah, it could be a lot of things. It won't be the same next week. I'll tell you that much. We'll try to find the balance as Josh Scott and Vernon Markheim got together.
Yep, that they did. Wally Tierheimer, though, trying to get by, was that Jeff Gilmore? And he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the number of Fords in this race? I think it is only those 3 tonight.
Yep, only the 3 that I can tell. Going throughout the field. Yeah, BBK Racing, they run Chevy or Ford, so some of the teams even run Toyota and Chevy in the same. I think Can-Am Motorsports are the only guys that run strictly Toyotas. No, I'm looking at John Held. He's in a Chevy, so
There
manufacturing be gone from team to team.
I was gonna say, when I run my team, I try to run the same manufacturer, but I am a one-man show in loose Lugnuts, so a little bit easier that way.
All Fords are in the top 7, so.
Yeah, Tierheimer in 7th place, just got by John Held, or Michael Held. I don't know, because again,
It's John.
Thank you. We're still doing that thing where we put the last names for some ungodly reason. Wally Tierheimer, though, having a great run. This has got to be one of the best runs of the season for that 75 team.
Yeah, the Del Taco truck looking good. Doing his best, 19th to 7th so far.
I like how he always has a fast food sponsor. What was it? It's either Del Taco, Carl's Jr., or something like that.
He worked office for Carl's Jr.'s, switched companies over to Del Taco.
Ah, there you go.
Both of those fast food joints, I believe, on the West Coast mainly.
Yeah, well, I think Del Taco's in, like, Texas and stuff, too.
That would make sense.
But I know here on the East Coast, we got Taco Bell, and that's about it. Taco Bell's pretty good, though, every once in a while. You know what to expect with it.
That's for sure.
80 laps in, and it is the Wesley Holland show by about 4 seconds. Man, can you believe that 4 seconds? When was the last time we saw Wesley Holland having a run like this? Not to say he's been bad recently, but we haven't seen him be this dominant in a while.
Yep. I think he scored a truck win or maybe a cup win at Talladega. So he's won once this summer, trying to back up a second win. And, feel better about some of the stuff that's happened during the summer. For sure, trying to add on double that win total.
Yeah, we got to get James Lehman back and get that, that rivalry started again. That was always fun to watch.
Yep, James Lehman.
I'm going back a while for that one, though.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's the second most all-time winner, just ahead of Justin Michael in loose Lugnuts history. So James Lehman, I think maybe stuck in Germany right now due to the COVID and the ROM status that military has to go through. I know we've seen him a couple times on Facebook. We wish him a speedy return stateside.
Yeah, hopefully we get him back on here soon, too. But, yeah, best of luck to him over there. It was always fun watching him and Wesley Holland go at it because you always had a good show because somehow those two trucks or cars or whatever they were racing always found each other. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was like they had magnets on them, so they knew where the other one was. It was very fun to watch. I'm going back, at least last fall, if not older than that, but I remember watching that, and that was always some good fun.
Oh, yeah. Still watching the top 5 right now, just clicking through. There's a battle around 6th place, though. Vernon Markheim, Josh Scott, Wally Tierheimer getting at it.
Yep, 3-truck battle.
Josh Scott being a lap down, so, I mean, he's trying to maintain the first car 1 lap down, or trying to get to that, and that's Trent Drum, who I think is...
Not for long, though. It's going to be Kevin Winter pretty soon.
Yep, there goes Kevin Winter, 1 lap down.
How many times are you going to hear that Kevin Winter being a lap down? Not many.
Well, getting raced to a lap down is different than going a lap down. That's getting raced 1 lap down, Kevin Winter. Started 6th, only back to 12th. Not a complete drop-off.
Yeah, you only got 11 trucks on the lead lap right now. Hermes Sadler next up on that chopping block. And you look at that, Jeff. We'll look outboard Hermes' machine. What do you see? Wes Holland not too far away. Maybe at most half a straightaway.
Even if Wes has got the advantage here, he's having a heck of a time running this truck, wheel manning it around Iowa.
I wouldn't put it past him to put that 93 a lap down. I think he just might.
Yeah, I think we're nearing about almost 20 laps to go here.
24 right now.
Yeah, I mean, it is a short track, people. As big as those turns are, and even the straightaways are quite large here at Iowa, being able to maneuver, it's still a short track. I expect to see some short track cautions.
Don't say it now. Now I want to see it go green to the end. Let's get that short track green to the end run. And there we are with putting the 93 a lap down, Jeff. He's at his bumper.
Yeah, he'll give him this corner. He'll dive it through with that extra speed the 4 has. And,
almost contact. That was tight.
Hermes Sadler making the 4 of Wes Holland sweat.
Yeah, making it interesting. So that leaves us, 10 trucks on the lead lap? Jeff Gilmore the last one, and again, maybe, half a straightaway between those 2 trucks? Maybe a full straightaway?
Yep, that's for sure.
Not much. Let's put it that way. Put it this way, we see Jeff Gilmore in frame when we see Wes Holland in frame on the TV3 cam. That's how you know they're getting close.
Oh, around goes the 923.
Oh, boy.
Almost. Kyle Chadwick and
No
the
yellow.
923. Yeah, 923 kept her going, but that was some severe contact. I'll have to back it up on my end. 923, 88, a little bit of contact on exit of turn 2.
Yeah, wow, that was more than a little bit of contact, Jeff.
I was being nice.
That was a full side lock for Vernon Markheim. How'd he keep that going straight?
Well, the Fords thank him. I don't think we're quite that window that the Chevys and Toyotas, if there's that advantage, would have it. Right now, it would still benefit the Fords to have the long run. We are just at 19 laps to go.
Yeah, I didn't think we would see a long run here tonight, but I mean, I think this counts as one. We've had a 92 lap long run?
Yeah, well, I mean, kudos to the drivers all throughout this race. I know we had a couple close calls. We just viewed a close call.
We just had a close call.
Cristiano saying he had his wheel lock up or disconnect. Brad Green missed pit stall and backed up.
And then disconnected, which was a shame.
Yeah.
I would really like to see him stick in it.
Yeah, all that effort.
But I'm very impressed there with Vernon Markheim to keep that thing pointed the right way.
Yeah, and, you know, Josh Scott's getting some extra track time up here, 1 lap down. John Held's right here. 923 Vernon Markheim just trying to hold on to a solid top 10 run and probably just trying to stay away from the 4.
Yeah, you know, if I was Vernon Markheim, I'd let Held by. I mean, you'd still have that top 10 run. I don't think that 923 is running at the peak it was earlier.
Nope.
Definitely not after that little incident, you know?
All right. 4 going to look to, on the next lap, but Jeff Gilmore, 1 lap official down.
Right now, just 16 laps to go. How about that?
23 racing really tough there with the 923 of Vernon Markheim. Still, those two are back and forth, and as the leader starts to catch him, that could spell disaster for Wes Holland if he gets caught up in something of those other racers making.
Would you believe we've only been live and therefore racing for less than 49 minutes?
I believe it. They're putting down laps like crazy.
Well, it's a short track.
Yeah, Wes Holland's putting down laps, and even Scott
He's putting
Patton.
down drivers, too.
Yeah, he's putting down drivers. Scott Patton, Elliott Sadler, Robert Baptiste, Justin Michael, all fast on the field. Side-by-side
now.
battle. The leader approaches.
Yep, this will be interesting here to see how this all plays out.
I think the 980 is even faster than both these guys, but does not want to stick the nose in between.
Not with the leader coming, he doesn't.
I don't think the 980 is focused on anything but passing the 923 for position. 980's got a lot of speed. He's rubbing off a lot of speed on the top side. Oh, contact!
Oh, big contact.
Right as Wes Holland gains entry into this.
Yeah, this could be disastrous for Wesley Holland trying to go up the middle there. Come on now.
That's
you gotta be smart about it though with the 7-second lead. You don't need the position.
Nah. He was probably yelling at his teammate, telling him enough is enough.
You don't need it for more than bragging rights anyway. 11 laps to go, mind you.
I think that'll leave the top 7 on the lead lap now, as Vernon Markheim and John Held are now in a position battle.
Right now, 9 laps to go at the stripe. And the question is, can anything stop Wes Holland? Well, the short answer, probably no. How about this? Robert Mattis might beat Elliott Sadler tonight, and that would be a cool thing to add to his list of achievements. A cool thing for any driver to add to their list of achievements.
Yeah, I know Matt was looking forward to a podium finish there from the 99, but he fades back to 4th.
Well, he should have been in a Ford. Ah, well.
I think there's 90% of the race cars out here tonight wishing they were in that Ford loaded in for loose lug nuts.
That being said, Sadler did have a lot of success in the Nationwide Series when he ran for Joe Gibbs.
He had some success too with JR Motorsports.
That he did. Almost won a championship with them. Although I did like the Gibbs cars though quite a bit.
Yeah, he raced Fords back in the day too. 38. Gosh, I can't remember the other numbers. I'm sure people are out there.
He raced Fords in the Xfinity Series.
Yes, he did. He's been all across the spectrum.
He was with. I mean, he was with a lot of the top tier teams. Always a hot prospect. He was. One of my favorite commercials was the One Main Financial commercial. It's a very goofy one. And let me see if you remember it, but what was it? I think it was when he was racing with RCR or, you know, one of the teams that wasn't Junior Motorsports, because he didn't have the #1 car yet, but he was in a Chevy. And it went something like #2 on the track, but #1 in your heart, and then it, you know, Elliott Sadler, and it was just a goofy One Main Financial commercial. I always got a kick out of that one.
I do not like that sponsor, but a good sponsor for a team nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, well, always good, because they were always a primary sponsor for him.
Yep, Elliott Sadler actually getting passed up by Judd Danielson, who is a lap down.
Yeah, he's starting to fade back a little bit there.
Yep, seeing the tires fall off right at the... Oh, I saw him blink. Is Elliott Sadler losing connection in Virginia? I don't know if there's any storms on the East Coast, Matt.
Well, there were a lot of bad storms here today in where I am. Got clobbered with rain, but I don't know about in Virginia where he might be.
Just off of 95 in Emporia, I'd have to guess. At least that was his home during NASCAR. Wes Holland trying to end out the night under green flag. I didn't expect 110 lap green flag.
They got to go 3 more laps still.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
They have 3 more chances.
107 laps green even is an accomplishment, no matter where the yellow falls.
But they do have 3 more chances to have something go wrong. Not that I think it will, mind you.
Nope, because 4 would stay out and everyone else would pit.
And coming to the white flag, presented by Over the Top Designs. This time around, Over the Top Designs, the best in iRacing paint schemes, whether you like it or not, they are.
Look your best, look over the top, that's for sure.
Final lap for Wes Holland. It'll be 75 laps led here tonight for Wes, if he can get it around one more time. Imagine if his internet went out right now.
I think he'll do a solid for his teammate here, keep him on the lead lap.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Although, maybe not. He got in pretty good. I don't know if he will. They'll go side by side to the line. And he does. Wesley Holland, 75 laps led in an all-green Iowa race. How about that?
Yep. Accomplishment across the board, no matter who won this race, for all the drivers involved, keeping it green flag.
And we did have a few close calls at that, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll get these lined up if you want to cover those top 10 drivers.
Hey, we'll bring Wes Holland up here in just a moment. But first, your top 10. Wesley Holland, of course, Scott Patton, Robert Mattis, Elliott Sadler having a great run. He faded back a little bit, but still top 5 run. Cannot complain there. Justin Michael, Wally Tierheimer, Chadwick, Held, Markeem, Hermie Sadler, and the rest going across the top of your screen now. I'll get a word in with Wes Holland. Wes, have you got a copy on me?
10-4.
Man, that was some incredible driving by you. Did you think we'd go green to the end?
Absolutely not. I mean, it's Iowa. It's pretty much running Richmond here, so didn't think that this would be the track that we would get green to checkered with no cautions, but I digged it. It was nice.
Sure, you're happy you did. 75 laps led. Tell us about how that truck handled.
It handled pretty good. It was super loose, and I don't know if Jeff talked about it or not, but I thinking iRacing may have messed up the setups on the new Fords, but I'll take it. They can pull it apart in tech and figure out what they did wrong, but yeah, it handled fantastic in traffic everywhere. It was nice on long runs. It never got utterly tight, so yeah, ran good.
I'll say if they messed it up, they messed it up to your advantage. Either way, any sponsors you want to thank?
Just the normal you guys up in the booth, broadcasting this live for everybody to watch. They're on the YouTube and interwebs, and all the teammates that come out here and race with me every week. John for the paint schemes, Over the Top paints, and yeah.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us, man. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
All right, next up, Robert Mattis with, Scott Patton with Jeff Wood.
Yeah, Scott Patton up in the 921, despite being in a Chevy. Pretty good night. Second place finish, top of the non-Ford board for sure. Outside pole position, didn't get involved in anything. Good, clean pit stop. Tell us about your evening.
Yeah, that about sums it up, Jeff. Overall, pretty good night, but obviously nobody had anything for Wesley there. He drove a heck of a race, but suspect we'll see a lot more Chevys or Fords rather in the race next week or 2 weeks from now if iRacing doesn't change something. But he ran a heck of a race either way. I'm sure he'd be right up there, and just nice, consistent, smooth race. It's awesome to see Elliott and Hermie out there too.
Yeah, racing with the professionals, that's for sure. A little bit of a luxury here at Loose Lugnuts, I would say, but the 921 machine did pretty well. If there was one trouble spot, tell us what was the most frustrating part of the night for you.
Probably just watching Wesley pull ahead and pull ahead and pull ahead.
And not being able to do anything about it.
Yeah, on the second half there, after we had the pit stops, my game plan was to try to back off on the tire strategy, like to kind of take it easy on the first half of the second half of the race, if that makes sense, in hopes of trying to catch him with the tire game. But even that, we had nothing for him at all.
Well, all right. Well, thanks for the input here this evening. Good second place finish, Scott, and go ahead and thank those that you need to.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. We just got Northeast Motorsports Museum on the hood again here. A new paint job tonight. Kind of sharpened it up a bit, and appreciate them up in the Northeast. And we'll be back on Saturday.
All right, Scott. See you then, buddy.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, Matt Egan with the final interview here tonight with the 14 and Robert Matisse.
All right, Rob, have you got a copy on me?
What's going on, man?
Well, you ran down and passed Elliott Sadler. That's got to feel good. Tell us about that third place finish.
Man, that was an awesome battle with him. Tires just didn't go away as much compared to his, and he let me go there at the end. I was like, man, it took me this long to catch you. You gonna let me go? Darn it.
Hey, either way, great job on the third place finish. Tell us a little bit how that truck handled all the way through.
It was good for about half the run, and then it got tight on me. I know a lot of other people weren't dealing with it, but I burned it up way too much. I was turning in way too late in that. I'm surprised I even got this.
All right, now Ford versus Chevy versus Toyota. Which one's your favorite? Obviously, in the Ford, you gonna stick with it?
Oh yeah, I'm all about Ford, man. I used to own a Mustang 10 years ago. I love Ford.
Yeah, Ford's good stuff. Any sponsors you want to mention?
Oh, just John, man. Over the Top Paints and Designs, everybody that puts this deal together, and BBK Racing for helping me out the last couple of weeks. Had a decent run, man. Glad to see it cap off finally.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us, man. Great job on the finish.
Yeah, good night, guys.
All right, folks, and from all of us here at ASN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We'll see you all in the next one.